Welcome back to Champion Medic. Today we are going to give you some advice on when to book the UCAT and how to prepare for it.
As you may know, the UCAT can only be taken once per application cycle, so it is imperative that you choose the correct date to take the exam. Our experiences have taught us about the importance of the tactics you deploy when preparing for this exam. There are two factors that most applicants underestimate: date selection and work rate.
Date selection. In our opinion, the optimum time to take the UCAT would be around September 1st, give or take a few days. This is because it links in with the importance of work rate.
Work rate. We believe that in order to achieve a good score on the UCAT, you need to be at peak performance in terms of revision around the test date. Our understanding is that taking the test during the school term has a negative impact on your performance. Much of the day will be taken up by schoolwork, traveling, and UCAS preparation. This leaves about 2 to 3 hours of practice per day, which is significantly less than what can be achieved during the summer holidays, which can be up to about 6 hours of work. Therefore, it is vital that your test is taken before the pressures of Year 13 begin.
Our recommended strategy for revision. It's important to spend as much time as possible practicing questions before the test. We have created a timeline that you should use as a rough guideline for a more personal revision schedule based on the UCAT resource, Medify. This means you should adapt it according to your test date and preference. Assuming your school breaks up on the 18th of July, you should allow for at least a week to relax. Don't start straight away or you'll lose motivation. From the 25th of July, you should spend around 3 weeks completing at least 100 questions per day. This amounts to around 20 per section, but we recommend doing more for the sections you find most difficult. This means that, closer to your test, you will be more comfortable with every style of question and the amount of time needed to complete each one.
Going through the explanations of each incorrect answer is also important. Using the analysis provided at the end, decide which of the sections you need to work on and complete some of the mini mocks which are timed tests on each section. In the last 2 weeks, complete a mock every few days whilst continuing with mini mocks and questions. Increasing the amount of work gradually keeps you in peak performance for your test. However, you must take regular breaks so as to not burn out and lose motivation. Remember, if you feel you are running out of mocks, the UCAT official website has 4 of its own official and free practice tests.
The final mock should be done the day before the test and should act as a confidence boost. The day before the test can be very stressful, so we advise taking the last mock in the morning and then taking the rest of the day to relax. General tip.
We have found that completing the mocks at the same time as the actual test is useful so that you're able to attain a high level concentration during that period of the day.
Get used to using the whiteboard and on-screen calculator, which ensures nothing can surprise you on the day. In addition, make sure that you learn the relevant keyboard shortcuts to save time.
Again, don't burn out early. Take evenings to relax and enjoy a hobby to take your mind off the stress. The most important factor, in our opinion, is achieving peak work rate as close to the exam as possible.
Make sure you learn from your mistakes. We know people that did over 10,000 questions on Medify, whereas we did a combined total of around 9,000, but we managed to get higher scores. This shows that, although the number of questions you do is important, the way you learn from them is far more valuable.
After each mock, you need to go through your worst sections and work on them the following day. For example, if you performed worst in abstract reasoning, the next day after you've completed your 100 daily questions, you should spend more time doing abstract reasoning, either from the question bank or from a mini mock.
Be sure to pace yourself. Our revision plan starts early because doing little and often is more valuable than cramming in the last minute, especially for the UCAT. The types of questions they ask have to be learned from practice and cannot be self-taught the day before the test.
Resources. Medify. This is a resource that is worth investing in as it gives a realistic representation of what the UCAT looks like. The user interface is also very intuitive and guides you through your mistakes with detailed analysis of each and every question. Whilst it can be costly for some, it is a worthwhile investment in the long term.
UCAT 1250 questions book. This is the go-to book for many applicants. However, we personally didn't find it to be as useful because of the lack of feedback. We also found that the book didn't provide an accurate representation of what the test would be like. Most importantly, the on-screen calculator is a major aspect of the quantitative reasoning section, so practicing with the book doesn't provide the same experience.
UCAT website. We recommend doing some of the mocks they provide as they are official and free to use.
UCAT courses. In general, these give some very useful information and guidance, but most of it can now be found online, so it's not a necessity.
6med. This is a company run by Ali Abdel who provides an online UCAT course and a site full of practice questions. Whilst they do charge for use, they have a bursary scheme accessible to low-income households.
Thank you for watching. We'll be uploading more videos to help prospective medics.
Make sure you guys drop a like and subscribe to our channel. Thank you.